metal, partly real.
Remember those cyborg heroes who fought Monstar in outer space with metal wings? Silverhawks wasn't just another action cartoon. It was Rankin Bass's desperate attempt to clone Thundercats' success.
We fight a ghost with another ghost, the mightiest Thundercat of all,
by literally copying the exact same formula in space. Today, we're counting down 20 shocking facts about the metal birds who proved lightning doesn't strike twice. 20. It was created as a literal Thundercats clone. Rankin Bass created Silverhawks explicitly to replicate Thundercats' massive toy and rating success.
Don't get your hopes up yet. There's still 100 meters to go, and Chitara's got a 25-meter lead at least.
The formula was identical. Team of heroes with animal characteristics fighting evil in exotic locations. Thundercats had cat people on Third Earth. Silverhawks had bird cyborgs in space.
I won't be here for long, Silverhawk. With time off for good behavior.
Even the team structures matched perfectly. Leader, strongman, young twins, tech expert, and elder mentor. The shameless copying extended to visual design and episode structure. 19. The lead villain was voiced by the same actor as Mum-Ra. Earl Hammond voiced both Mum-Ra from Thundercats and Monstar from Silverhawks.
And defeated, I do what is right for me.
Performing nearly identical villainous characterizations for both shows simultaneously. His distinctive raspy delivery made both villains sound remarkably similar, confusing children who watched both series. Hammond recorded sessions for both shows on the same days, switching between characters with minimal vocal adjustment, essentially playing the same villain twice. 18. The transformation sequences were recycled constantly. Every episode featured the Silverhawks' transformation from human form to metal cyborg suits, using identical animation sequences reused from previous episodes. These transformation scenes consumed approximately 3 minutes per episode, over 10% of runtime, purely to save animation costs. The recycled footage appeared so frequently that fans could recite the transformation dialogue verbatim. The repetition was a cost-saving necessity disguised as a signature storytelling element. 17. The Copper Kid changed gender mid-series. The Copper Kid was initially male in early episodes, then inexplicably became female in later episodes without explanation or acknowledgement. Voice actors changed, character design shifted, and personality completely transformed between seasons. This bizarre continuity error resulted from production chaos and lack of series Bible documentation. Writers working on different episodes had conflicting information about the character's gender, creating contradictory characterizations. 16. The show's budget was criminally low. Each 22-minute episode cost approximately $285,000 to produce, substantially less than contemporary action cartoons like G.I. Joe or Transformers, which spent $400,000 plus per episode. The limited budget forced extreme animation shortcuts, minimal character movement, static backgrounds, and heavy stock footage reuse. Approximately 35% of every episode consisted of recycled transformation sequences, spaceship launches, and battle footage from previous episodes, making the show feel repetitive. 15. Kenner Toys controlled creative decisions. Kenner, the toy manufacturer, had contractual script approval and frequently overruled writers' creative choices. They demanded specific characters appear in episodes to support toy releases, regardless of narrative logic. Several storylines were rewritten mid-production because Kenner wanted particular vehicles or weapons featured prominently. Writers complained that producing the show felt like creating 22-minute toy commercials rather than actual storytelling with character development. 14. The partly metal, partly real tagline made no sense. The show's famous tagline, partly metal, partly real, was scientifically and logically nonsensical. Metal is real. The phrase was created by marketing executives who wanted something catchy without understanding basic physics. Writers privately mocked the tagline, knowing it made zero logical sense, but were contractually obligated to include it in episodes. the phrase became unintentionally comedic, representing the show's prioritization of marketing over coherent world-building. 13. Mon, Star's design, was stolen from Heavy Metal magazine. Monstar's visual design was heavily inspired, or directly copied, from villains in Heavy Metal magazine's science fiction artwork, particularly Moebius illustrations.
Moonstone of Limbo.
Character designers borrowed the spiked armor, demonic features, and organic mechanical fusion aesthetic directly from adult science fiction art without credit. The plagiarism went unnoticed by children, but was immediately recognized by adult animation professionals and sci-fi fans who noted the obvious similarities. 12. Voice actors recorded lines without seeing animation. Due to production scheduling chaos, voice actors recorded all dialogue before any animation existed, working purely from script descriptions without visual reference. Actors had no idea what their characters looked like, how action sequences played out, or what emotional beats scenes required. This backwards process created constant mismatches between vocal performances and visual action, characters sounding calm during intense action or excited during static conversations. 11. The twins were added purely for toy sales. The Silverhawks twins, Bluegrass and the Copper Kid, later changed, existed solely because Kenner's market research showed twin characters sold twice as many action figures. No narrative purpose justified their existence beyond doubling merchandise opportunities. Writers struggled to differentiate them personality-wise, often making them interchangeable characters who said similar dialogue. Their redundancy highlighted how completely toy marketing dominated creative storytelling decisions. 10. The show was canceled before final episodes. Aired Rankin Bass canceled Silverhawks production in late 1986, but final episodes continued airing through early 1987, creating awkward situations where cast learned about cancellation while new episodes premiered. No series finale was produced. The last episode ended mid-storyline without resolution. The abrupt cancellation resulted from disappointing toy sales that failed to match Thundercats' commercial success, making continued production financially unjustifiable. 9. The Mirage character was blatantly racist. Mirage, the space taxi driver character, was portrayed using offensive Middle Eastern stereotypes, thick accent, merchant personality, and caricatured appearance that drew immediate criticism from Arab American advocacy groups. CBS received complaint letters calling the characterization blatantly racist and demanding removal. Rather than fixing the offensive portrayal, producers simply stopped using the character after 7 episodes, though those episodes remained in syndication rotation. 8 episodes were written in 48 hours. Individual episode scripts were written in approximately 48 hours from assignment to final draft due to impossible production schedules. Writers received story premises Monday morning and delivered completed scripts Wednesday afternoon. This breakneck pace guaranteed poor quality, underdeveloped plots, shallow characterization, and recycled storylines. Several episodes shared nearly identical plots with minor character and setting variations, revealing the desperation behind rushed production timelines. 7. The starship designs were recycled from other Rankin Bass shows. The Silverhawks' primary spaceship designs were nearly identical to vessels from previous Rankin Bass science fiction productions, with only superficial color and detail modifications. Production designers routinely recycled concept art across different shows to save development costs. Eagle-eyed viewers noticed the ships looked suspiciously similar to vessels from earlier properties, creating an unintentional shared universe aesthetic that suggested creative bankruptcy rather than intentional world-building. 6. CBS scheduled it against Transformers and lost catastrophically. CBS scheduled Silverhawks directly against Transformers in multiple markets, creating impossible competitive situations. Transformers dominated with 40% audience share, while Silverhawks struggled to reach 15% share in the same time slot. Children overwhelmingly preferred established Transformers characters over newcomer cyborg birds. The scheduling disaster made the show commercially unviable regardless of content quality, guaranteeing eventual cancellation through strategic incompetence. 5. The theme song plagiarized Queen's Flash Gordon. The Silverhawks theme song bore suspicious similarity to Queen's Flash Gordon movie soundtrack. Particularly the rhythmic structure and vocal delivery style. Music critics noted the obvious parallels, though legal action never materialized. Composer Bernard Hoffer later admitted Queen's soundtrack influenced his composition, essentially confirming the musical plagiarism. The derivative theme reflected the show's overall creative bankruptcy, borrowing from successful properties rather than creating original identity. 4. Toy sales were catastrophically low. Despite aggressive marketing, Silverhawks toys sold approximately 60% fewer units than Kenner projected, making the toy line a commercial failure. The disappointing sales directly caused the show's cancellation. Without toy revenue, the low-budget animation couldn't sustain itself financially. Kenner discontinued the toy line after only 18 months, leaving massive unsold inventory that was eventually liquidated at deep discounts. The commercial failure killed any sequel or revival possibilities. 3. It aired in only 65 episodes. Because of syndication requirements, the show produced exactly 65 episodes, the minimum required for daily syndication stripping. 5 episodes per week for 13 weeks. This wasn't a creative decision, but a financial calculation. Producing additional episodes beyond the syndication minimum offered no financial benefit. So Rankin, Josh Bass, stopped immediately after reaching 65 episodes, regardless of storytelling or character arc completion. The arbitrary episode count left numerous storylines unresolved and character developments abandoned. 2. The show killed Rankin Bass's animation ambitions. Silverhawks' commercial and critical failure convinced Rankin Bass to abandon original action animation entirely, refocusing exclusively on holiday specials and licensed adaptations. For nearly a decade afterward, the studio produced nothing but Christmas and Easter specials, viewing the action animation market as financially impossible. The failure represented creative retreat rather than learning from mistakes. Rankin, Josh, Bass abandoned the entire genre, never producing another original action property. 1. It proved you can't clone success. Through pure imitation, Silverhawks demonstrated that mechanically copying successful formulas without understanding what made them work guarantees failure. The show replicated Thundercats' structure, character types, and episode formats, but missed the world building, character depth, and mythology that made Thundercats resonate. Success requires creative vision, not just formula replication. The failure taught studios that audiences recognize cynical imitation and reject it, preferring original properties or authentic sequels over transparent cash grab clones. So there you have it. 20 wild facts proving Silverhawks wasn't just a forgotten cartoon. It was a cautionary tale about cynical imitation, toy-driven storytelling, and the delusion that success could be mechanically replicated by copying surface elements without understanding deeper appeal. The wildest part? A show created explicitly to duplicate Thundercats' success, instead became the perfect example of why shameless cloning fails spectacularly. Now spread your metal wings to your next video. And remember, partly metal, partly real, and completely a lesson in how not to create successful entertainment through pure imitation.